It's safe to say that Fortnite Chapter 5 is the most controversial chapter that we've ever had in Fortnite history. And the reason Fortnite Chapter 5 has stirred up this much controversy is because it is heavily driven by bad decisions. So today we're going to cover some of the biggest controversies this chapter has had, and at the end of the video I will also be covering the current state of Fortnite and how Chapter 6 could actually be a very good chapter. Now before we get into it, make sure you guys like the video, and also make sure to subscribe. We're trying to get 20,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so I'd really appreciate any help. Now all of this Chapter 5 controversy actually starts before Chapter 5 in Chapter 4 Season 4, specifically Fortnitemares 2023. Overall, this was a pretty decent Fortnitemares event. We had the brand new Woodstake shotgun, tons of great collabs including Jack Skellington and Michael Myers. We got the mythic Kato Thorne's kinetic blade. Overall, it was pretty fun and definitely better than previous years. However, there's one thing that brought this entire event down, and that was the lobby UI update. And you already know what I'm talking about. This was the first UI decision that Fortnite has made before Chapter 5, and people did not like this. Everything was rearranged in a bad way. The font looked ugly. Discovery was terrible. You could see it at the bottom of your screen at all times. People absolutely hated this, and it left a weird impact on Fortnite Chapter 4. But luckily, we were approaching the end of Fortnitemares 2023 and also the end of Fortnite Chapter 4. We all thought that we were going into Fortnite Chapter 5, however, some weird teasers started to pop up. People were receiving packages heavily themed around OG Fortnite, and there was a bunch of weird signs in Mega City showing the OG sky and playing the Chapter 1 music. And thanks to the leakers, we were actually able to figure out that we were going back to Chapter 1 for 1 month. This season would have multiple updates bringing us Chapter 1 season content, and that all started with the first update, the Kevin the Cube update. Honestly, it just seemed like this season could not miss. It was super fun. I mean, Kevin the Cube is back, and well, we're on the Chapter 1 map. You can't really complain, right? There's no way that they can mess this up. And well, they did. During one of these Chapter 1 updates, they decided to release something that could risk all the success that they had built up. That was the age ratings on cosmetics. This locked out tons of players' favorite skins from certain creative maps, including skins like Venom, the Demogorgon. Even if a skin had a singular bullet, nope, it was banned from over half of the creative maps you could play in Fortnite right now. This got the entire community of over, well, 6 million players completely annoyed by this update. This was not good looks for Fortnite, especially because they had so much hype built up around the game, and so they had to do something here. If they didn't, they could ruin all the success that they built up. So they actually announced that they're going to be redoing this system, and as you know, in the current day, they actually did. Some skins are still locked from certain creative maps, and while it is kind of dumb, it is so much better than all the skins that were banned before. Overall, this was a very controversial update that turned good. With that out of the way, we had the Big Bang Live event. Overall, this was a very cool event. However, it was pretty obvious that this was just an ad for all of their brand new modes releasing in Chapter 5. Overall though, it was still a really cool event, but the event definitely lacked a lot of storyline, and this is something that would carry over into Chapter 5. With that being said, it is time for Chapter 5 to release, and overall it was pretty fun. However, of course, it launched with a lot of controversies. Starting off with the locker UI, and I'm not even going to talk about this one for long because you already know. This locker UI is difficult to navigate. It just looks so much worse than it did before, and honestly, it's unnecessary. However, luckily Fortnite made this wonderful tweet saying that they're going to work on the locker UI and it's going to get so much better throughout Chapter 5. I'll get back to that tweet later though, because this chapter also had another big controversy that we need to talk about, and that was the walking animation. Now, if you guys remember when it first launched, Fortnite decided to update their kind of walking animations to be a little more realistic, but this made the game feel really slow. It made building feel really clunky, and it turns out that the community made this very relevant because Fortnite actually made a post saying that they're going to work on fixing this in a new update. And they even included the ninja meme, which, bro, whoever is running the account during the season is just built different. I mean, actually, they literally lost their mind during Winterfest. And I said that literally because Winterfest 2024 was absolutely awful. As you guys know, we did not get the cabin. We got this super lazy, like, quest screen where you can use one singular button to open your present. It just felt super cheap, and this stirred up a lot of controversy as well. This is also the time where Fortnite goes on breaks for winter, so they couldn't really do anything with it, and that created one of the worst Winterfest events we've ever had. In my opinion, I think it is the worst, right behind Chapter 2 Season 5. Well, even if the event isn't good, luckily we had a ton of item shop skins to look forward to, right? Well, no. You see, with the release of the brand new LEGO mode, the item shops were very different. They could only release skins that had a LEGO supported variant, which made the item shop super limited, and it also caused the brand new Winterfest skins to release after Christmas was already over. I mean, this was terrible. So many people felt less motivation to actually buy these skins now that Christmas was over, and the shops just kept repeating the same skins over and over. It was a mess. Chapter 5 Season 1 really stirred up a ton of controversy for Chapter 5, but that's only the start. Now, it was time for Chapter 5 Season 2. We were all so excited to get out of Chapter 5 Season 1, only to open up social media to see that the entire season was delayed. And we didn't think much of it until it ended up being a 19-hour delay. People stayed up all night for this brand new season, they had all this hype gathered, and it was a 19-hour downtime, the longest downtime the game has ever seen, apart from the black hole. Then out of nowhere, the season got released, but it was already super late for people. In Eastern time zones, it literally released at midnight, which is just a terrible time for a season to release, especially when no one was expecting that. Overall, it was a pretty fun season. However, this is where Fortnite would start to do something that would ruin the rest of this chapter for many people. That being nerfing down the fun items. And it all started with all the god mythics. They made it so that the Zeus bolt couldn't go through builds. They made adjustments to the wings. And I know this all seems like simple nerfs, but it really made the fun and unique items in those seasons feel not fun and unique. People were already pretty annoyed about this. However, we had a huge update coming soon. That being Avatar coming to Fortnite. This is a collab that everyone's been waiting for, well, years now. It was revealed that we would have 4 mythics in this update, which is crazy. And everyone was so excited to combo these brand new mythics with the wings, the Zeus bolt, and the chains of Hades. However, when this update released, they actually got rid of all the god mythics that made this season, well, unique. Now, don't take this the wrong way. I think the Avatar mythics and the whole update was the best update we've had during that entire season, but this really did give a lot of people weird vibes about this season that now it just didn't feel like what was supposed to be the entire theme of the season. And what did Fortnite do to respond? Make one of the dumbest decisions that they have ever made in the game's history. That is removing cosmetic rarities. I mean, actually, what is the logic behind this? Well, apparently that's what everyone was wondering. And so when somebody asked Epic Games what they were thinking, they said that they got rid of it because it was an outdated Battle Royale inspired system. What does that mean? And with this, they also kind of started to make some really weird decisions with their pricing. For example, the brand new Avatar skins were literally 2,000 V-Bucks each. They released a skin for 1,200 that didn't include a back bling. This point of the game was actually such a mess. And it's not only me who felt that, because there was also a huge downfall in players during this, as you can see right here. The removal of rarities and the weird pricing stuff that they were doing in the item shop really hurt the rest of this chapter and players. Yeah, what a mess that was. It's actually making my brain hurt thinking back to all of that. The rest of Chapter 5 Season 2 was fine. People were just annoyed with this season with all the dumb decisions that they've made. People were just so sick of Battle Royale, but luckily it was time for Chapter 5 Season 3. Surely this would save the chapter, right? Well, yeah, actually it kinda did. This season on launch was super fun and unique. We had the crazy car mods, which we've been waiting forever for. It was super chaotic, super fun, really fun to use the desert to drive the cars in. There were some mixed opinions on it, but overall it seemed that this season was received very well. So for the first week, we had this really fun, chaotic, unique season, and then Fortnite struck with the nerfs once again, just like they did in Season 2. And this is where Fortnite completely ruined the season for so many people. They added back the boogie bombs, which made cars pretty much useless. Plus, these boogie bombs were extremely OP. The cars just weren't as effective anymore, and it felt like the fun vibe that this season brought over was just gone. Except with boogie bombs being spammed and Nitro Fist being spammed. Again, it was another mess that was stirring up in this season. We just had to push through this tough time in the game because we knew that the summer event was rolling around very soon. And when the day finally arrived, well, yeah, this is the worst summer event that we've ever had. You can't even call this a summer event. All we got was one NPC that sold the most generic weapons. We didn't get any unvaults at all, and we got some quests for 3 kind of mid rewards, I'm not gonna lie. And these quests were not easy either. You literally had to get wins in order to get these rewards. I mean, nobody's trying to log on to this now boring season to get a win, to get their free shark glider thing. This was an absolute mess. This season was just super bad at this point in the game, and it was being heavily carried by Reload. Battle Royale was just completely dying off here. The cars are boring, the boogie bombs, EMPs, Nitro Fists, just very annoying combos of items. But this is when we'd receive an update that would continue the summer event with the Tesla Cybertruck. And I didn't realize how much people absolutely hated the Cybertruck, but we got more quests thrown at us, and upon completing all these, we would get the Tesla Cybertruck as well as some other sprays and whatever. I don't know, this whole summer event was confusing. I don't know whether this summer road trip thing was the actual event. Again, just another messy season where you can't tell what's going on. However, it was time for the final update of the season. We knew that we were approaching the Marvel season in season 4. But on the same day that this last update released, we all casually checked the item shop to see the OG Paradigm. And this had the whole community talking. This was a big deal. I mean, this skin was quite literally marked exclusive back in Season X, meaning that it would never return, and well, here it was in the item shop. People rushed to buy this skin assuming that it would get removed, and well, it did. Fortnite said that they would be removing it from our lockers and refunding our V-Bucks, but people were pretty annoyed about this. People tried to make it clear that this was Fortnite's mistake, and so we should get to keep the skin, and they should figure out some way to make it fair for everyone. And they did just that. They gave all the original owners an exclusive style, and everyone got to keep the skin and get their V-Bucks refunded. And you're probably sitting there like, okay, so how is this controversial? And that's the thing, it really isn't. This is a prime example of when Fortnite actually did something correct, and I just wanted to bring this up because this was a pretty controversial situation turned good. However, this whole Paradigm thing wasn't done, because just a couple days after this ended, Fortnite announced something crazy. Battle passes will no longer be exclusive. Future battle passes, I should say. For example, this current season 4 battle pass, all these skins you see could return. Jeez, this whole Paradigm situation had Fortnite really thinking, bro. This kind of split the community. Some people were pretty excited that skins would be returning. Other people just thought it was dumb. And then there's also other people that wanted the older skins to still be returning. Overall, an interesting situation for sure. However, it was time for the launch of the Marvel season, and everybody really enjoyed this season. I mean, there was nothing wrong with it, just like season 3. However, it seemed that history was repeating itself because Fortnite just decided to strike with the nerfs once again. And it's just been happening throughout this entire season, especially with the jetpack. That poor jetpack has taken a beating, bro. I mean, they nerfed literally every Marvel item you could think of. The Captain America shield, literally everything. The nerfs this season have been insane. And this gave a lot of people deja vu from season 3. All the nerfs, just, it's a lot of nerfs. For some reason, Fortnite just loved adjusting these items and making them even worse than they were before. Like I said though, the jetpack has taken some of the most nerfs out of this entire chapter. And it seems that Fortnite has just given up on this because they completely vaulted the jetpack recently. This is a pretty controversial update, however, I think most people like this. And I mean, you have to admit, with things like the chainsaw in the game, it was really a lot. Now, you'll notice how I haven't really had as much to say about Season 4, and that's just because, honestly, they're getting better with it. It was so messy in Season 2 with the whole cosmetic rarities. Season 3 was a mess with the summer event and the constant card nerfs. It seems here that Fortnite is really starting to listen to us a little bit more. We're getting a ton of skins in the item shop, and I do hope that they carry this over into Chapter 6. But who knows, maybe I'll be here a year later making the most controversial updates in Chapter 6. Time will tell, I guess. Now, there is still one thing I need to come back to. Remember this right here? Yeah, well, that tweet was almost a year ago, and the locker is still the exact same. We got some leaked updates that we're gonna see in Chapter 6, and it's really not much different, honestly. So, I don't know what Fortnite has against the locker, but they just won't change it for some reason. Overall, though, I do think that Chapter 6 has some potential, more potential than I thought. They have been listening to us a lot recently, and so I really do hope that it gets better. Hope you guys enjoyed this video though. Remember to like if you enjoyed, subscribe, and feel free to leave some of your own opinions in the comments because I am curious to see what you guys have to say. But with that being said, I will see you guys in another video. Peace.